all the way from Philadelphia to London, Wembley, Northwest. Can we please have a nice round of applause for our dear brother Basil, aka known as Freeway.
I go by the name of Philadelphia Freeway. My name is Basil, but I go by the name of Philadelphia Freeway. And I'm from the United States of America, and I'm from a record label called Rockefeller Records, which is one of the hugest record labels ever. You know what I'm saying? And in my day, I sold well over 1 million records. Altogether, I think we probably sold over 10 million records altogether. I've been all over the world traveling. I've been everywhere, and mashallah, you know, I'm here with you guys, and it's definitely a blessing. You know, I feel good to be here and be able to talk to you, and I feel honored that I was invited here to speak to you guys. Now, I can give y'all a little bit about my history. I'm originally from West Philly. When I was a little kid, I lived in West Philly. When I was about 12 or 13, I moved to North Philadelphia. And I was blessed to move to North Philadelphia because I moved to a neighborhood where I had 2 masjids in a walking distance. I had a masjid called Al-Aqsa Masjid, and I had a masjid called Albania Masjid. It was in walking distances, and everybody in the neighborhood went to the masjid, and it just was a beautiful thing. I went to school, I went to Kensington High School, and I had like a lot of people from Pakistan in the school with me. One of my best friends, his name was Keefa. He was from Pakistan, and I went to school with him, and he used to tell me how it was over there, and the things that they went through and the violence that they encountered when they was younger, and it seemed horrible to me. But the violence that I encountered in my neighborhood was just as horrible. I can say out of 20 friends that I grew up with, it's probably like 6 of us left. And it's crazy, like every time I turn around, every time I turn the news on, it's always another shooting, there's always somebody getting hurt, there's always violence going on in my city, and it's crazy, and it's really time to bring it to a stop, you know, and I'm gonna do everything that I can to try to motivate the people and let the people know the right way. Because I feel like it's my job as a human being, and it's my job as a Muslim. And it's very important to me, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I've been blessed to be successful and do this music thing, but it's a lot of people that I came up with that can't even see what's happening right now with them because they passed away, either they're dead or they're in jail. And it's just crazy. This violence really needs to come to an end. And it starts with me, and it starts with you guys. We can do it, but we have to do it together. In the Quran, it says, to save one person is like saving the whole humanity. And that's what we need to do, inshallah. And I hope y'all feel that, because it's coming from my heart. Now, I can, even within my rap group, how many of y'all heard of State Property? You heard of State Property? Yeah. Even within my rap group, State Property, this year, 2014, we're all home from jail. The leader of State Property, Beanie Siegel, just came home from jail probably like 2 months ago. And another member of State Property, Oskino, he just came home from jail probably like a month before that. So that lets you know the environment that we come from. Like, they're famous and they're successful, and they're still falling into being subject to crime and crazy stuff that's going on in the neighborhood, you know, and we're trying to work together now to do something positive and to try to get on the same page and get on the right track and move forward and do something positive, man. Like, we're going to put together, y'all seen State Property 1 and State Property 2, I was in State Property 2. We're trying to put together State Property 3, and at the end of State Property 3, inshallah, we're going to have a good outcome. You know, we're going to show the people that something good can happen from all this. Inshallah, you know, that's definitely one of my goals, man. Inshallah, everything works out, and it works out good. It works out fine, you know. And I've been blessed since I became Muslim. One of my goals, and it should be every Muslim's goal, is to take a trip to Saudi Arabia. So as soon as I was able to do it, and I had the means to do it, I think it probably was around 2003 or 2004. And if you're familiar with my career, you would know 2003, 2004 was the height of my career. Rock the mic, flip sides, got what it takes, right, yeah, you know, was popping. But I put all that to a stop And I went to Saudi, I made Umrah, and it was beautiful, mashallah. I mean, when I got off the bus and I seen the Prophet's Masjid, and you can see it far from the airport. When you ride from the airport, you can see it. It's tall, it's beautiful, mashallah. When I seen it, tears, waterfalls just came down. I just couldn't believe that I was there. The first night, I didn't even spend a night in a hotel. I slept in the courtyard of the Prophet's Masjid because it's marble and it's beautiful. You can just lay out there and look at the stars. Me and a couple brothers just slept out there and we just looked at the stars and we just was talking to each other like, wow, mashallah, we can't believe that we're here. Because it's people that never can get a chance to go there. Not only because they can't afford it, but where I'm from, the majority of people got criminal records. Like I said, my brother Beanie C was home now, but he's still on parole. So if we wanted to go to Saudi Arabia right now, he couldn't go because he can't leave the country. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a blessing to go over there, man, and to sit under some of the scholars and to talk to them. And one of the things that I learned the first time I went to Saudi Arabia and that stuck with me is that you have to do something with your time, do something positive with your time before you run out of time. Do something with your wealth before you run out of wealth. Before you're poor and you don't have any wealth to share, you have to do something with your wealth. Do something with your health before you run out of health. The first time I went to Saudi Arabia, it was this brother named Abdul Majid that was with us. He was an older brother, you know, and you know, I took to him because I looked like him a little bit, and everybody was saying they thought that I was his son when we was over there. So I took to him. Like, he's a real bright brother, you know. I got a lot of love for him, mashallah. And he was running around energetic. You know, everything was good, you know, the first time we went. A couple years later, he's sick, he can't even travel, he can't do nothing. And it was amazing to me because he was right there with me listening to the same thing that they told me. When they told me to do something with your health and do something positive before you run out of health, before you're sick, before you can't make any moves. And now he's in that position. So I reflect on that all the time, you know, and it's just so important to me, and I'm really trying to take advantage of all the things that I told you before they run out for me, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm here now, that's one of the reasons why I'm here now. If I can reach one person, and if I can touch one person's heart, then I'm doing my job, you know what I'm saying? And the music is a part of me. Like ever since I was a child, even before I was Muslim, two things that I wanted to be. Like when you're in school and the teacher say, what do you want to be? What's your profession? What would you choose to be? I even wanted to be an airline pilot, or I wanted to be a rap star. And now that I'm a rap star, I fly just as much as the airline pilot. So it's like I don't fly the plane myself, but I fly just as much as the airline pilot. So it's like I killed two birds with one stone, you know? So it's definitely a blessing, man, and Allah continues to bless me. And like I've been, since the breakup of Rockefeller, I think it was probably like 2006, 2007, when I noticed something wasn't right. I noticed things weren't going how they were supposed to be. It was like a lot of tension between the heads and the bosses of the label and everything. And I knew that something was going to happen, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. And then when it happened, it was over. Like when Rockefeller broke up, it was over. Like Jay went his way, Dane went his way. Like I still keep in contact with both of them, but they're doing them. They're doing what they got to do. So I had to go back to doing what I do and what I do best, and that's hustle, that's grind. And ever since then, I've been independent. I've been making moves. If you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Twitter, everything that you see me doing is from the heart and it's from the muscle and it's independent. I don't have no labels backing me. Everything is independent. But the one thing that I did was build the foundation. People that I deal with them with manners. When I get paid to do a job, I go do my job. I'm on time. I'm respectful. They know that they can rely on me. They know that I'm going to do my job. And that's why it's one of the reasons why people book me all the time. It's one of the reasons why I get shows every week. And it's one of the reasons why people love me. And that's from Islam. The way that I carry myself and the way that I deal with people is from Islam. I treat people how I want to be treated because I know Allah's watching, no matter what. up. You know what I'm saying? I know in my heart that Allah is watching, so that's real important to me. And that's why I deal with people and treat people how I treat them, and that's why people love me, and that's why they respect me, and that's why I don't have no problem getting shows. That's why I get booked for tours and all kinds of things, you know. MashaAllah, and it's a beautiful thing. And I got my brother Jacka with me. He's from the West Coast of the United States. I'm from the East Coast. So we just put out a project together, and us working together is something good because we're combining two different coasts. There's a point in time where people from the East Coast didn't even get along with the West Coast. I'm pretty sure you heard of Tupac and Biggie and the beef that they had, and East Coast versus West Coast, and this and that and that and this, and everybody beefing, and you can't come to Cali and you can't come to New York. It was real. It was very real. And what we're doing is bridging the gap. It's an artist from the East Coast working with an artist from the West Coast. But the most important thing is we're Muslim. I went out there, I think it probably was like 2001, 2002, and I was performing, doing a bunch of shows, and they reached out to me and they wanted to buy a verse from me. And you know, when you know people's towns, it's artists and they got a little name for themselves and they got a little buzz, and if you like the music, you work with them, and that's what I did. I worked with them. But while I was around them, I noticed that, hey, these guys are Muslim, like they're doing what I do, but they're from a whole other coast. And it touched me. It's time to make salat. When I'm dealing with normal people in the music business, when it's time to make salat, I gotta slide off. Or I'll go to, I don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable, so I'll find a little corner in my crib, I pray my crib, pray, share, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers. And the crazy thing about that is, let me get back to what I was saying, but the crazy thing about that is, I do that, but I shouldn't do it. Because I can tell you a story about, and I remember this vividly, I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I was at my man Lake Show house. And Brother Loon, his name is Amir, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Amir. Y'all know Amir? He took Shahada. Last time I went to Saudi Arabia, he went with me. And he was signed to Bad Boy, he was signed to Puff Daddy's label. Or whatever. And so we was all in the room together. It was me, him, and my man Layton, or whatever. We was talking about some music business. They was at the club. We was talking about that. And I think it was time to pray Asr. So I left them, and I went to pray Asr, and then I came back. I didn't say nothing to nobody. I just went and prayed, then my thing came back and continued. And we continued the conversation. So probably like 3 or 4 years later, the brother took Shahada, mashallah. And I didn't have nothing to do with that. He had his own journey to Islam. And alhamdulillah, he's Muslim now, you know, but maybe he could have been Muslim a little sooner if I would have been like, hey, I'm about to go pray, I'm about to make salat. You're like, what is that? But sometimes I just don't want nobody to feel uncomfortable when we working or whatever, so I just do my own thing or whatever. But my point is, Allah makes Muslims. We don't make Muslims, Allah makes Muslims, but we can encourage people by our mannerisms and by how we act and how we deal with them. You know, I'm gonna share a story with you guys, and this is a real story. I think it probably was like a year or two ago. I was talking to Jay on an email. He did this thing where when he opened the Barclays Center, he got on a train, and he rode the train from Manhattan to Brooklyn, where he's from, to the Barclays Center, where he rode the train with normal people, and that's Jay-Z. So I seen it online, and I had hit him early, because I wake up for Fajr, and I'll be up early. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I send a post out every morning after Fajr. I got this whole team early Fajr boys staying working in the United States, and mashallah, all the kids at the masjid in my neighborhood are team early Fajr boys, and a lot of people in the United States, mashallah, are behind me with that. So I emailed Jay and I said, I see what you did. That was good that you're still interacting with the people, with a person at your status and on your level. It's beautiful that how you do that, how you interact with the people. I was like, that's real, I love that. So that was early that morning, so probably a couple hours passed, and I checked my email, and I got an email from Jay. He said, you might not believe me or not, but I just had a dream about you. And in that dream, a reporter was interviewing me, and he asked me who was the best artist that I ever signed. And he said, he told the reporter, it's between me and young Chris from State Property. But he said he gave the head nod to me because I'm just a positive spirit that keeps moving forward. And he said, I made my pilgrimage to Mecca and all that. And he said he loves that. And he said that's one of the reasons why he believes in a higher power. And then he signed his name on an email in Arabic, Sean Carter. And I mean, when I read that, I couldn't believe it. It touched my heart so much because it just confirmed to me that I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm doing my job as a Muslim. A good Muslim reminds people of Allah. When Jay think about me, he think about a good Muslim. And that just made me feel so good in my heart. And it's just a real story. And I just had to share that with you guys. But as far as the music, and like I said, I've been doing my thing independent since like 2007, 2008. And one of the reasons why I'm still successful to this day is because of how I deal with people. I treat people with kindness. I treat people how I want to be treated. I do my job. I'm respectful. And that's just me. And my brother Jacka, I'm going to bring him up here. He been doing his music business independent from the whole beginning. Like that's what this whole brand is built off of, being independent. And I'm going to let him speak to y'all about being independent, y'all.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area, I'm from California, as he explained earlier, you know what I mean? And I'm from a part of California where it's not easy to get on. Like, you try to be an artist, you want to be a rapper, right? So you're looking at TV, you're looking at all the videos and everything like that, and you picture yourself there one day. That's your dream. You want to do that, And then you realize, man, it's all a business. It's all a hoax. It's not really what you think it is. It's like, no matter how good I am, how many records I sell, if I sold 1 million records today, right now, if this album sold 1 million records right now, we wouldn't win a Grammy. You know that? Why? It don't even make sense because, and the reason why is because we independent. And you look at the Grammys like that this is some big company that says, okay, these dudes right here are so great, we want to give them an award. You know what I mean? But the only thing that the Grammys are, it's just a platform for a major label to show appreciation to their artists. You're making millions of dollars for us, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we're gonna put together a platform for you to get this trophy, this award, for doing your thing. It's not a place where, okay, the Grammy's not a place where, okay, yeah, come on, this dude is dope, we're gonna put him on. But that's how it should be, but that's not how it is. It's a business. You listening to a song on the radio and you think, man, he came with another hit. That's a hit song. Wow, I need to make one of those, something that sounds sort of like that so I can get on. But then, that's not how it works, Radio is just commercial. It's all advertisement. You have to pay to be. Nothing you ever heard on the radio that they just put in rotation because it's nice, it sounds good. It's the best song I ever heard before, so let's all play it, the whole country, the whole nation right now at one time. No, you'll never ever hear nobody on the radio unless they have an album about to come out. And they put an album out, the radio, the labels get behind it, put some money into Clear Channel, get Clear Channel, who runs every radio station, and says, yo, okay, here, this is this commercial song. That's what they call a single. You think you got a single, it's a hit song, commercial song. We're gonna call this, we're gonna put this single out, boom. But they paying to have it out. But the artists don't know that though. They tell the artist, man, you just made another hit song. Here, take these keys to this Bentley. Take this key to this condo right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Get back in the studio, make it some more. So take your mind off of what you should be thinking of. You're not thinking about how did I actually get on the radio. You actually believe that you made a song so hot, that's the reason why it's playing. And
what's so true about that is I was in that boat Like when I first started getting hot and I put the music out, I had the machine behind me, Def Jam, Rockefeller Records, so they were playing my music because they were putting money up for the music to be played, you know. Now that I'm independent, I have to do everything for the muscle, so I don't have 60, 70,000 to put behind one record. We have to push, we have to go in the streets, we have to touch the people, we have to get with the people ourselves, you know. We have to go up to the radio stations and talk to the DJs, have lunch with the DJs, and just try to build a relationship, and then hopefully they can play your records. But if you don't have that big machine behind you, then it's not going to work for you the way that it works for the people that's topping the charts right now.
Right, true. So you'll see an artist, right? For instance, like an artist, no disrespect to nobody, but like an artist like Plies or somebody, who actually had the radio on smash at one point. But you don't hear him as much on the radio right now, if at all, you know? But to him, he's thinking like, man, I gotta get back in there and make that another song, man. I gotta come with that song. And he got the song. He just don't know that he has it. Because he don't know that they actually paid for you to be there. You know what I'm saying? So you get this song, you think it's a hit song because they showing their appreciation to you for making these songs and going, you know, selling as many records as he sold and singles as he sold, and they put you on this platform to get this award. So now you believe that it was the music that you made that got you where you were at. It's somewhat true, it is. But that's not what gets you on the radio. So a lot of artists, what they do is they try to copy or emulate a sound that they hear somebody making on the radio. I mean, make one of these Chief Keef sounding songs. We make one of these 2 Chainz sounding songs, because he actually thinks that's what's going to get him to the next level, you know what I'm saying? So what he's doing is, he's actually watering down his creativity, you know? Trying to be like somebody else, because he don't really actually see the bigger picture. He actually believes in the hoax. He actually believes in award shows. He believes MTV videos. He actually believes the radio. You know, what I'm telling y'all is a secret. You know what people have to do to learn what I'm telling y'all right now? No. You know what I mean? You'll probably never know. If somebody like me don't tell you, you'll never know that.
Because they're not going to tell you, people in the music business not going to tell you, they'll milk you till you dry, and then they move on to the next artist, and that's just the way that it is.
Right, and you think it's something wrong with yourself. Like, man, how does this dude who ain't even dope, he's not even an MC, not even a lyricist, how is he surpassing me? How is he on the radio now with the next big hit? When I was just a man, what happened? You know? They don't like this new song that I'm giving them? Like, you know, it don't really have nothing to do with that. You know, because most songs that go on the radio anyway, it's not your best song. You know what I mean? It's just that it's the radio-friendly song, it's your commercial song. And radio is all advertising. So when you put out a commercial song, it's to promote your album. Like I said, like you won't hear nobody on the radio unless they have an album coming out. You're not gonna hear Drake with a single out for nothing. He got a new album coming out, and if he already have an album out, it's the next single for the project, the next commercial song for the project. You know, you put out a commercial, Tide, washing detergent, you got a commercial out, you know? So you can see that's what he's doing. He put the commercial out to promote his project. You know what I'm saying? So they call radio songs commercial songs, which are hit songs. But if it's any artist in the crowd, never copy that. You know what I mean? Always stick to your gut and do what you feel from the heart. You know what I mean? Make the music from the gut, man. Don't ever get discouraged by what you hear on the radio or see on TV, because it's not real. You know what I mean? If somebody want to put some money behind you and push you, remember that's what it is. Never let it blind you. When things start going down and you realize, dang, I was just on. Remember to capitalize on those people on the side that you don't pay attention to, because you're so busy, you know, being a superstar that you're really not paying attention to what's actually getting you there. And they don't want you to know, because if you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars doing shows and tours because you got a hot song on the radio, you can actually afford to put your own single on the radio. But if you know that, then why would you need the label? If you know who to talk to get your single put on the radio, why do you need this label? You don't, so they don't want you to know that. It's a secret. Like I'm telling you, this whole shit is stuff of love. This whole thing is a secret. You know? But that's why the independent game is so important.
And that's what's going on now. A lot of artists are more independent. Like you got artists like Rich Homie Quan, like the Migos, and like they're all independent. Like they're not signed to no label. They're doing everything for themselves, and they're doing everything. And when you're independent, you're your own boss. You know, you make the rules, you make the money, you get to do your own thing. And that's what they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that you can be a boss, and you can be your own boss, and you can be successful being independent. I've been doing this since 2006, 2007. And it is what it is.
Have you guys heard of I Am Sue? In here? See, this is an independent artist, right? Ham, Sage, the Gemini, we're independent artists from the Bay Area. Young dudes, my young partners, I love them, they cool dudes. They sold 1 million singles on one of their things. And I Am Sue sold a couple million singles. So did Sage the Gemini. And have you guys ever heard of the Freshman Top 10? That's on the XXL magazine? So a lot of people mad, they're like, man, why ain't I Am Sue on there? You know what I'm saying? This dude just sold more records than every dude on there. And it goes back to what I told you, like, if Highway Robbery sells 1 million copies today, we're not gonna win a Grammy because we're not signed. So what label is gonna show appreciation to us? Somebody, Universal, just gonna say, come on, Jacka, Freeway, boom, y'all get up here and get this Grammy, but we not signing them? That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying?
They're trying to sign us first, they're like, come on, let us sign to our label, and then they're trying to get us a Grammy and all that.
But if we don't sign, we're not getting it. You know? But our dream was to be on TV, though. You did? My dream, what I wanted to do was be on TV. I wanted to be a star. You know what I mean? I wanted to go on big tours and perform in front of big crowds. You know? I wanted to be on the radio and do all of that, have people hear my music, because I actually believed in the hoax. You know? I thought the hoax was actually real. I was fooled. And this independent thing, though, you go as far as you take yourself. It's a great thing that we have the internet and all of that, you know what I mean? But we have tongues in our mouth, we were blessed with speech, and we have to use it for the right thing. So never be fooled, never be blinded by none of the stuff that you see on TV. And you can actually take yourself far as you want to go, you know what I mean? It just depends on how hard you work. Man, I went to Seattle for 2 months. I did like 200 songs. Not because I was just trying to get better as an artist, you know what I'm saying? I did all those songs like how a person goes in the gym and lifts weights, trying to get buffy, trying to get in shape. You know what I'm saying? So after 200-300 days of just working out, you see the results. But it's the same thing with music or anything that you do. Anything. The more that you do it, the better that you get. You know what I mean? So that's why I did it. I went in there and did it as practice to become a better MC, become a better rapper. Because I understood that, you know, nobody's just gonna come get me and do that. I'm doing good. I sell a lot more records than a lot of these cats, independently. But I'm not gonna get the credit for it because I'm not signed to these big major labels. So they're not gonna just put me on like that. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta remember that, man, you know what I'm saying? But back to my man Freeway, I just came up here to just hit y'all with that. You did? Thanks for coming out on y'all too.
Appreciate that, good brother. My man Jacka, he's a good brother, man. Ever since we met, we clicked, we've been vibing out, we both Muslim, you know. Inshallah, we get to make highs together on one of these days, inshallah. Looking forward to that.